This conference will now be recorded.
We are now recording. So with that, welcome everyone today to the winter storm briefing for the expected storm that's going to be pushing down from the north, that cold front that's going to be affecting our area through Saturday through Easter Sunday and even into Monday as far as temperatures are concerned. So want to go ahead and just get started and jump right in. The main weather maker is that cold front. It's really going to bring in some quite a bit colder temperatures. I mean, we could be looking at as much as close to drops across portions of the area from today's highs by the time we're looking at Easter Sunday morning. So that's really going to cause quite a change to the area. So just wanted to talk to you about the winter weather overview. Winter storm watches do remain in effect for the Wind River Range, southeast Fremont County, most of Natrona County, Johnson County, and the Bighorn Mountains, and from 6 a.m. Saturday until noon on Sunday. And also in portions of Bighorn County, Johnson, Washakie counties, and surrounding areas from 6 p.m. Saturday until 6 p.m. Sunday, elsewhere within the winter storm watch areas. So we're kind of staggering the winter storm watches southward with the expected changeover that's likely going to occur during the daytime hours tomorrow. So I guess just to kind of a quick overview, this cold front is going to sweep slowly edge southward as it gets out of Montana into the state, and it could hang up for a while during the morning hours, that frontal boundary from around Lovell to Cody and over to Buffalo. So that's the real question mark right now within our forecast for tomorrow. And that's what some of our forecasters are taking a look at the office. They're going to be, potentially issuing another update a little bit later this afternoon. It may be just a little bit different involving the timing, but I think I got the latest and greatest before I got on the call here with you to ensure that we're thinking along the same lines. So, excuse me. Most, most areas through the first part of the day tomorrow is just going to just begin to see just rain out ahead of this storm system. So by the time we're looking at around the noon time period, I would say, that's when that front may begin to sag southward just enough across northern Wyoming to allow for a quick changeover from the rain to snow along that Lovell to Cody to Buffalo line. And, there's going to be definitely some wet roads across those areas. And as the temperature drops during the afternoon hours, I would say you're going to see some flash freezing occurring as temperatures drop into the 20s. And then usually around that magical low to mid 20 mark is when you begin to really get to see some of that freezing taking place on any traveled roads. So, I think that's going to continue to present itself as an issue as the afternoon wears on. It looks as though by the time you're getting toward early afternoon in the Bighorn Basin over to Johnson County, that's when you'll begin to see maybe that 2 o'clock-ish time period, a changeover over to all snow. I would say, there's still just a low to mid-level confidence involving the timing right now, just because of the fact of the uncertain nature of how quickly that front's going to sag southward. That's what we're still trying to get a final indication about for Saturday. So looking at as the boundary is expected, or the front expected to move a little further to the south, I would say around that 3 to 4 p.m. time period in Casper, that's when you're going to see temperatures dropping from morning highs in the upper 30s down into the lower 30s possible, where you would probably see that quick changeover from rain to snow. when you're digging just a little further to the west and southward of that, as that front pushes downward, I would say the timing line for the rain to snow changeover would be from Pinedale to Du Bois to Riverton to Jeff City, typically after about 6 p.m. So, I think when you get toward around sunset, we should, across the entire area, western and central Wyoming will probably be, all snow by then. Again, across the area, as temperatures drop below that 32-degree mark, that's going to be something to key on, would be some, for folks across the area, maybe some flash freezing on area roads with that cold air coming on in. The temperatures are just going to continue to fall further. Winds are going to pick up along and ahead and behind the front, the cold front, as it sweeps down. We're probably going to see some areas that could have 25 to close to 30 plus mile-an-hour winds. So along with the moderate to occasionally heavy snowfall, creating the poor visibility with that, you're going to have some considerable blowing snow at times, and along with that, the flash freezing. So road conditions are going to be definitely getting treacherous and very slick, and with, at times, in certain areas, there could be some blizzard-like conditions or approaching that at times. So especially by tomorrow evening and into the overnight hours on Saturday night and into early Easter Sunday morning. So just looking at the confidence level, we do have, that is a high confidence level that this is going to bring that heavy snow accumulations to areas mainly east of the divide. Portions west of the divide, probably more like 1 to 2 inches or so west of the continental divide. When you get up into the Bighorn Basin, probably 1 to 3 inches. And then extending, north to south from Johnson County, across Natrona County, over to about Jeffrey City, and then further southward, then you're going to be looking at amounts variably ranging in certain areas from 4 to 8 inches. So the snow will start out as an initial wet snow just because of the amount of moisture content in the atmosphere, but the flake type will quickly change over to more of a dry snow as that drier, colder air pushes into the area along and behind the cold front. So, I think that the timing would be rain to snow from Lovell to Cody Buffalo line by around noon, rain, and then rain to snow from Thermopolis through the rest of Johnson County to Natrona County between 3 to 4 p.m. in the afternoon, and then rain to snow elsewhere by 6 p.m. And then by the time you're looking at the winding down, I would say 6 a.m. In most locations. And then by the time you're looking at Casper area and maybe toward Jeffrey City, mid to late morning, I would say on a Easter morning would be when the snow should really begin to taper off. We'll probably see, with instability in the atmosphere through the day on Easter, still some scattered flurries. I would say just very little, if slight, accumulations with any remainder of the snow. Here's just a look at the current winter storm watch configuration. Of course, if you have the slides that I sent, you can follow right along with me. So, again, Buffalo area is 6 to 8 inches likely, KC 4 to 6. And that matches up with that first leg of the winter storm watch. The more southern section, which would be 6 p.m. Saturday to 6 p.m. Sunday, would be the, basically 4 to 6 in most cases. The Lander area maybe 6 to 8, and up into the Wind River Range more closer to that 8-inch snow amounts. So again, travel is going to be treacherous with this storm system Saturday night to Sunday, especially east of the divide. Here's some more of a detailed look at the forecasted snow amounts also. So you can see those are the same areas from about Sheridan down to Buffalo, and then a little bit to the west of KC and into the northwest part of Natrona County, and some of the higher elevations going to get going to get at or above that 8-inch amounts. To maybe some mountainous areas might get a little closer to that foot range in the snow amounts. So, and also down toward Casper Mountain too, you're going to have an area down there, of course, where you could be looking at that 8 to 12-inch range, and also in the Wind River range. So we'll just continue to monitor that, and there may be an update needed on the midnight shift tonight involving massaging or fixing the snow amounts just a little bit more, but that's our best judgment right now. Again, you know, we're going to be looking at definitely by Saturday afternoon, night, into Sunday morning. All areas are going to have definitely treacherous travel with that moderate to heavy snow, gusty winds at times, 30 miles an hour, flash freeze, an initial possibility, and then the poor visibility is due to the snow and blowing snow. So again, road condition resources, please feel free to pass that along to folks in your counties and your area. wildroad.info, of course. And the next question, next thing I wanted to talk about, of course, is going to be the temperatures from Sunday. These are Sunday highs. You can see a good portion of the area, low to mid 20s, maybe Shoshone and Thermopolis may get around 30 degrees. And then the southern areas down around Rock Springs, they may barely get above freezing. So after temperatures today in the 65, 70 plus degree range, that's going to be quite a big fall. And looking at that, you know, we're going to be looking at some record-breaking cold with a forecast high, you know, Casper 27, 26 degrees, you know, and 27 degrees with a 26 degree being the previous coldest high temperature. Definitely looking at probabilities being good of some areas that are really going to break those records. Riverton, high probability there, of course. The previous record was 35 for record low high for 1997. And of course, Buffalo and down through there with that graphic. The record lows are definitely going to be hit in some areas too. So that would be something that we definitely should keep you know, keep a look at. Wind chill values between Saturday night and Sunday morning, obviously with temperatures mainly in the teens to around 20 or so early that morning. You're going to definitely have some single-digit wind chill values. So that's really going to be quite a bit of a shock to the system. So are there any questions, anyone? Any questions at all? Well, I guess you can see, you know, this time of the year, it's definitely not out of the realm of this possibility occurring. I look back last year and I did a briefing very similar to this one within a day of today. So that is quite interesting. The timing was pretty close to the same time of the year last year from what I looked like I saw earlier. So if not any questions, you know, I'll just throw it open. If you have anything at all you want to add or have questions about, let me know. And we'll just go from there. So if no questions,
Hey,
thank
Tim.
you all.
Eric.
Yeah,
Sorry to bother you. Hey,
okay.
what is the ratio that we're looking at this? Is this the 15 to 1?
Well, probably at the very, very beginning of the event, maybe like a 10 to 1, and then we'll increase pretty rapidly within an hour or so of the snow starting, I would think, to about a 15 to 1 ratio. So it's just going to be kind of one of those wet, very beginning on the changeover, and then we should really begin to dry out pretty quick with the snow type, you know, the type of flake. So yeah, that it should segue to kind of a normal, you know, heavy type of the snow that we typically get around here after the first hour or so.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Hey, Tim, this is Kim Johnson. I'm kind of a greenhorn with only about 30 years in Wyoming, but, you know, hey, it's April, it's Easter,
Yep.
We expect it.
That's true. I've seen at least two snows in my 4 years here already on Easter. So I thought with it being Easter and so forth, it would still be a good opportunity to make sure that everybody had this on their radar with all the other things that are going on. So, and you know, well, the good thing about this type of a snow, I mean, we are going to be looking at still below normal temperatures, but you know, below normal temperatures are this time of the year. Even if we're 10 degrees or so below normal, we're still going to be around 40-ish. So the snow should within a day or so really be melting and gone. So I think that's going to be the key. There is a chance, a returning chance of snow on Wednesday potentially. So we're going to have to watch that system. Doesn't look nearly as impressive as this system though. So, but it is still in the forecast.
Well, we greatly appreciate the great service we get from you guys in the Weather Service, and greatly appreciate the information and helping keep our focus so in these trying times. So I greatly appreciate it, and thank you for taking the time to put this together this afternoon.
Well, thank you, Kim, and thank you all for participating today. Any last questions? Anything at all? All righty. Thank you, everyone. I'm going to be saving this and sending it out the actual recording. Take care. Be safe.
Thanks, Tim.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
Bye.